Good morning beautiful people all over the world, welcome back again here in my YouTube channel, Maverick Cruz Vlog. The town is primarily a fishing and agricultural municipality, with large areas planted with rice, sugarcane, vegetables, beans, coconut and bananas. Banate is well known for kasag, crabs, krill or shrimp paste called ginamos, and the fresh fish, which local entrepreneurs take and sell in the capital of the province, in many of the non-coastal towns, and even in Manila. Banate during the pre-conquest period. The settlement in Banate is of ancient origin. It was among the ancient organized territories of the Confederation of Madja as in Panay, also called by the ancient Bornean migrants, the island of Madja as which the Spaniards found when they came to the island. It was known to Spanish missionaries during the earliest dates of the colonization as Babog. The Spanish Augustinian historian, Fray Gaspar de San Agustin, mentions it in an account about Dumangas and other coastal towns of the island, where in ancient times there was a principality and trade center that had the most illustrious nobility in the whole island of Panay. Babog, Banate, Araut, Anilao, and Hapaitan were among the ancient coastal civilizations in Panay. There are the auras that settlers from the powerful ancient Thalassocratic Malay Empire based on the island of Sumatra, modern-day Indonesia, which influenced much of Southeast Asia, arrived in Banate in around 600 AD, during the second wave of migration from the Sulawesi island of the southern archipelago of Southeast Asia. First, the most northern part of Iloilo, Estancia, was settled. Some migrants moved to Batad, Balasan and Carles. Then, Ahoy was settled, and from there communities spread to inhabit the present Concepcion and San Dionisio area. In time, communities of Ahoy spread upland to populate the hamlet of Sara. The families of Sara spread to Lemery. Other families inhabited the coast of Babog, Banate Viejo, and traversed the mountain now called San Rafael. Some families settled near the river Jalad, others moved further south and settled in Irong-Irong and finally stopped at Ogtong. These independent coastal settlements were engaged in fishing, and settled near rivers. The Maragtas of Pedro Alcantara Monteclero mentions that the area near the Alacagon River was among the first areas to be exploited by the early Malay settlers for agriculture. In these places they cultivated the land, planting kawayan, mabulo, hijok, bagtikan, sibukao, buri, nyog, kulo, calamansi, perey, batad, kahangkugwe and other seed, which they brought from Borneo. Alacagon and Bubog, Babog, which gave its name to the ancient society and where the future Spanish population would develop, were among the first settlements established by the Malays in Panay. Banate during the Spanish regime. Father Murilo Velarde's 1734 map of the Philippines showing Banate as one of the ancient towns on the island of Panay. Origin of the town's name. At the beginning of the Christianization of Panay, Babog was a visit of the Augustinian parish and monastery of Dumangas. Gaspar de San Agustin mentioned the existence of the town in his book Conquistas de las Islas Filipinas, 1565 hanggang 1615. Another Augustinian historian Fray Juan Fernandez, in his Monografías de los Pueblos de la Isla de Panay, affirms that Banate was known in the ancient times as Babog or Bog-O. The Augustinian friar says that the modern name Banate might have been derived from some flora that abundantly thrive in the town. One possibility is the Batasia, named by Carl Linnaeus as Murraya exotica, if the spelling and the pronunciation are corrupted, and instead of Banate what is written or pronounced is Bangate, it would therefore be the leguminous Papilioacea called in botany as Abrus precatorius. To the inhabitants, the town's modern name is commonly attributed to the presence of many Bangate trees in the area. According to a local legend, when the Spaniards arrived, all the inhabitants of Banate fled away for safety. An old man, however, failed to escape because he was of advanced age and was already so weak. It was raining then. So, the old man took shelter under the Bangate tree where a Spanish officer found him later on. The white man asked the native, "¿Cómo se llama esto pueblo?" The old man, uncertain what to say, merely said, "Bangate," thinking that the Spaniard was asking him about the name of the tree. Unable to understand clearly what the old man mumbled, the Spaniard thought the native had said, "Banat." While such legend sounds too absurd to be true, it is the only explanation often given by people when asked why their town is called Banate. Indeed, Bangate trees still abound within the territorial limits of the municipality. Banate at the beginning of the colonial period. The map of Panay, with data about the bastions of its coastlines, c. 1797, drawn under the direction of Don Santiago Salaverria, Teniente Coronel Graduado de Batallón de Milicias de la Laguna de Bay, y Corregidor de la Provincia de Tondo. The map shows the three bastions of Banate. Father Juan Fernandez says that Banate was formally established as a municipality in 1763. By then, it acquired as its visit to the settlement of Sinabaan, in a private definitory of the Augustinian order. On October 31, 1763, Father Alejandro Arias was appointed as vicar for the town. Consequently, after the Muslim pillage, Banate was re-annexed to Dumangas. It later became a visit with its own Teniente de Justicia, dependent to Barotac Nuevo for its civil and ecclesiastical government until 1843, when it was declared an independent municipality again. By the end of the 1700s, the inhabitants of Banate have already finished building 3 stone bastions located at its shores, which defended the town from marauding Moros of Mindanao. The 3 stone structures are prominent in the 1797 map of Panay drawn under the direction of Don Santiago Salaverria, Teniente Coronel Graduado de Batallón de Milicias de la Laguna de Bay, y Corregidor de la Provincia de Tondo. By beginning of the 1800s, the Spaniards noted that Banate profited from the benefit of its good bastions that the native residents built to defend themselves from the Moro pirates. Because of this advantageous situation, in a short time, the town was developing again. The Spanish observers foresaw that soon Banate would be a notable town again. It enjoyed good ventilation and healthy climate. By beginning of the 1800s, the Spaniards noted that Banate profited from the benefit of its good bastions that the native residents built to defend themselves from the Moro pirates. Because of this advantageous situation, in a short time, the town was developing again. The Spanish observers foresaw that soon Banate would be a notable town again. It enjoyed good ventilation and healthy climate. Though the houses were of simple construction, but the community had good defenses to protect itself against the frequent Moro incursions. People were engaged in agriculture, which constituted their main occupation. Fishing was also a very important trade because of the abundance of the harvest from Banate Bay. Banate as a town and parish. Depiction of Banate and its history in heraldic art. There is no extant document or act of legislation recording the date of the formal re-establishment of Banate as a municipality in the year 1843. It could be noted, however, that the town had its first duly appointed gobernadorcillo in the person of Don Felix Baviera, in 1837, included within the territorial jurisdiction of the town of Banate. During that time were Barotac Viejo and Anilao. The original site of the poblacion of Banate was in what is now known as Bularan. The small church there, around which the town grew, was then situated near the shore. Nearby, towards the north, the town cemetery was located. For the marketplace, nipa and bamboo shacks were constructed near the area where the first church used to be. During the later part of the 19th century, the present Roman Catholic stone church was constructed in the adjacent barangay, which subsequently became the poblacion or the capital of the town. An extant record published by the Augustinians Friars states that in the year 1845, the town had 1,664 tributaries. It is located by the shore, and has 3 stone bastions that defend it. Its climate is one of the best in the province. In addition to agriculture, the natives devote themselves to fishing, and export fish to many towns in the province, and women engage themselves in making fine fabrics from pineapple fiber. Its interim parish priest is R.P. Fray Bartolome Villa, OSA, 27 years of age and 4 years in the ministry. Decree of Governor-General Antonio Blanco, dated April 5, 1850, separating the towns of Banate and Anilao from the jurisdiction of Barotac Nuevo in Iloilo, Philippines. The original document is in the custody of the monastery of the Augustinian province of the Most Holy Name of Jesus of the Philippines in Valladolid, Spain. The official local election results record for the year 1844 to 1845 found in the National Archives, in Manila, entitled Relación Nominal de los Gobernadorcillos, Tenientes, Jueces, y Alguacils del Año Corriente con exposición de sus pueblos, lists Don Pascual Bailon as the Gobernadorcillo of Banate, and that the other town officials during his incumbency were Julian Fuentes Primer Teniente, Victoriano Bonifacio Segundo Teniente, Inisanio Domingo Primer Juez, Roberte Cayetano Segundo Juez, Lucas Espinosa Primer Alguacil, Juan Mateo Segundo Alguacil, Juan Ignacio Tercer Alguacil. The original manuscript of the report of R.P. Fray Bernardo Arquero, OSA, dated January 1, 1897, on the statistical data and historical information of the parish of St. John the Baptist in Banate, Iloilo, Philippines. The document can be found in the archives of the Monastery of the Augustinian Province of the Most Holy Name of Jesus of the Philippines in Valladolid, Spain. 13 years after the first Gobernadorcillo of Banate was appointed, Governor-General Antonio Blanco declared Banate as an independent parish on 5 April 1850, at the same time as that of Anilao. In his decree, the Governor-General noted that Banate was already separated from Barotac Nuevo in its temporal administration, and after consulting with the various Spanish colonial authorities, including the Bishop of Cebu, who had ecclesiastical jurisdiction of the entire Visayas, and the governor of the region, he deemed it opportune to decree the separation of the town's spiritual care from its mother parish of Barotac Nuevo, Banate during the American regime. When the Americans seized control of Panay at the later part of 1899, Banate was among the first settlements they bombarded and chosen as landing spot for their forces. On October 27, 1899, General Diokno informed General Delgado of the docking at Iloilo of the USS Concord. On board were 3,000 troops and 200 horses. On November 2, 2 American gunboats bombarded the town of Banate. On the 5th, American forces began their advance outside the front lines toward San Miguel. Landings were made in Banate on November 25, in Capiz and Calivo in December, and in San Jose de Buenavista in January 1900. Unable to resist the American advance, the Filipino revolutionaries retreated to the mountains of Panay. Delgado retreated to the mountains of Lambunao, Diokno to the hills of Aklan, and Fulan to the vicinity of Mount Madias. By July 1, 1900, the Panay defenders had opted to shift to guerrilla tactics. From 1 October 1901, an American teacher was also stationed in Banate. During this American, Barotac Viejo and Anilao were reduced as districts under Banate. The Administrative Act No. 2657 of the Insular Government of the Philippine Islands, dated December 31, 1916, shows Banate as one of the 24 municipalities in Iloilo, and of the 5 towns belonging to the 5th district of the province. On 1 January 1918, Barotac Viejo was separated through the Executive Order No. 84 of the American Governor-General. On that occasion, the majority of the town officials of Banate were Barotac nuns. As a consequence, there came about a succession of appointed presidents in Banate, until the time of the next election. During the term of Benjamin Boyko as president of the town 1936-1939, Anilao was separated from Banate. Afterwards, Benjamin Boyko also became the first mayor of Anilao. During this period, a Banatenhan Ludovico Arroyo Bañas was chosen as one of the 10 personnel of the American Government Telegraph Service in the Philippines to compose the first and only group of Filipino pensionado. In 1919, underwent advanced training in wireless telegraphy radio. At the U.S. Naval Radio School in Cavite, the training of the 10 Filipinos was made possible through a special arrangement between the U.S. naval authorities in the Philippines and the insular government. To select the trainees, a special examination was conducted among the 398 students of the Post Telegraph School. Later, Bañas, who is one of the prominent figures in the history of Philippine telecommunications, became the regional superintendent of the Bureau of Telecommunications in Region 4, Panay, Negros, Romblon, and Palawan, at the time of his retirement, on 16 February 1966.
Thank you for watching my video. To all beautiful and amazing people. If you are new here in my channel, don't forget to click like, share, comment and subscribe for more updates.